Hey guys, Kate Resell here, back at you with another sourcing video. Today we're going to hit up 4 or 5 thrift stores. Here's Miss Jenna. Thrift store number 1 for this video is Goodwill. Pick up these Santa, I guess you can call it ceramic molds. Some of them have numbers on them, $17.90 is that one. Some of them don't have numbers on them, so it just varies based on which one. This was a while ago, obviously, as I'm wearing a jacket. That one might have some kind of number down there, but it was probably 3 or 4 months ago. That one's the one that actually is might actually be worth some money. I'm not sure the exact number there, but I was able to look it up and see some sold history. I saw one that sold for really good money and then one that maybe not so much. I'll discuss that in the summary once we get there. But just taking you around the rest of the store, or at least part of the store, this is all the breakables and stuff like that. Usually stuff I'm not too interested in unless it's some brand that I recognize. The appliances are always there, just the random George Foreman grills and other stuff like that. There's another one there. No number on that one, but I do pick it up. I think these were either $3 or $4. This one's actually sitting right next to me right now. Not listed yet. That one's the one that's not listed, like the Santa have the kid on his shoulder or something. I think that's what that was. More electronics and stuff that I'm not really too interested in. That was interesting, but I'm not sure what it was or there's no way to test something like that for me at least. And there's the new carts with the stuff that comes out. That's where they always put the new stuff is on carts. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this Goodwill. This is a section where they just put random junk and the sports are down at the other end. The toys, there's not really very many toys at this Goodwill for some reason. I can never really find too many toys, unfortunately, because that's what I usually like to pick up. But yeah, let's go to the summary where I will show y'all what I picked up and kind of how I evaluated using WorthPoint and TerraPeak to try and get some kind of value on these things, because the thing I was able to look up was Gare Ceramics. That's how I kind of looked them up. So yeah, here's the summary. So at this first sale, you'll see me pick up those ceramic Santas. From what I was able to research, they are Gare, G-A-R-E, ceramic Santas. They're ones that you actually paint yourself. So I'm not sure if these were worth it or not. One of the ones y'all saw when I talked about in the voiceover, I'll explain it a little bit more. But the one that had like a puppet on the end, based on the WorthPoint, what I'm looking at on WorthPoint, one sold for like $150, and there's no picture, so I can't really tell what it looked like. There's one that sold for $35, so it'll probably, I think I paid $3 for each one of those. It'll probably go between like $40 and $150. I have it listed really high right now, but I'm gonna have to lower that. Maybe around Christmas time it'll sell better. I don't know for sure, but I pick up 4 of them. I think I have 2 listed so far, and the other 2 I need to list. Yeah, some of them did have like markings on the bottom, if you could see that, like the mold number. So I think it was 1567 for the puppet one. The other ones, some of them had it, some of them didn't. It just varies. So yeah, not the best item to pick up, probably because it takes up space and it's breakable. But for that kind of potential profit, I decided to take the chance. On to the next one. So this is Goodwill as well. Same Goodwill I think the last clip was taken at. I find some Club Penguin plushies. Those 2 guys right there, the pirate and the wizard, and then the random just blue one, generic blue one that's not really worth too much. But I decided to get them because Club Penguin, you can kind of lot them up, and that's what my thinking was. I did list some of them individually. The Kirby I was debating picking up, but when I did a Google Lens and a search on it, it really wasn't worth paying the $3 for it. I think it's what they had it listed at. Some of these were, the ones that weren't marked were like 2 for $2. So that's why I picked those up. That one was $3 by itself. I probably could have gotten that one included in the deal because I don't think she would have looked too hard whenever I was checking out. But, it's dishonest to do that. So I couldn't do that. So I pick up those 3 and also pick up one more Warmies plush. It's a little dog Warmies. I'll discuss him a tiny bit in the summary, but he's, not too much, probably $15 or something like that. But I just threw it in to get them all for $1 each. Some hats are always back here in this section, but I've never had too much luck with the hats at this store. This is the one on Burbank again. Over here is the clothes are always along this line. No, I don't usually look at clothes though. When I go to Goodwill, they're usually a little bit overpriced. If I go to St. Vincent de Paul, they're decently priced there. What's funny is at this thrift store, I think I actually saw an item that I donated right there. That item was at my garage sale for less than $1. Goodwill is charging $8 for it. So this is very recent. I went to this probably a week ago or so is when I was at this thrift store. So yeah, I think both of those items might have been mine that I donated to the thrift store. It's always funny to see your items wind up in the thrift store. So, and then I look at these. I actually do look them up. They aren't worth it though. I don't remember what they were asking, if they even had a price on them, but I scanned them into Amazon and they were only selling for like $15 with free shipping, so it just wasn't worth it. These shoes are also a tad overpriced for me. They're $30, I think, something like that for these shoes. Goodwill used to be a lot better on their shoe prices. Here's a summary of what's sold so far. So this was Goodwill. I'll pick up some Plush. I actually have some decent Plush in this video, surprisingly. I haven't found much Plush lately at all. Number one, they raised their prices way too high. This thrift store, this is the one, I think it's the one off Burbank in Baton Rouge. It's like 2 for $2, I think, or something like that. I'm not sure what they are individually, but I got, basically it's $1 each if you get 2. So I got that Wizard Club Penguin. Throw the comp up right here. I think he sold for like around 30, maybe something like that on Mercari. Yeah, he's the only one that sold so far out of those. I also got the Red Club Penguin Pirate Beard. It's probably worth around 15, and then the Blue Penguin's not really worth much, maybe $10. It did sell once, and the person decided canceled and said they didn't want it. I don't know if they thought it's probably the circumstance of they thought I was sending them an offer and they accepted it, the way eBay does it now. Whenever I'm going through and doing research for sold items, I'm searching comps, I'll get offers from other sellers for items I looked at because I was looking for a comp. And sometimes I'm sending out offers to zero watcher items. I'm like, sometimes I don't even send the offer because I know it's not anybody that actually watched my item. It's someone that basically, it's another seller researching my item to price their item, which means I should probably lower the price of my item because it means they probably undercut me on the price. It's actually a good strategy, probably. And then also got a Warmies dog. It's worth around 15 to 20. I didn't show it in the clip because I didn't know I needed to get another one. I was getting 3 plushies. I'm like, how much are they? She's like, oh, they're 2 for $2. They're $1 each if you get, 2. So that's what I decided to do on the next clip. So this was a really good stop at Purple Cow in Baton Rouge. I pick up 3 items, I think. This glove for $2.29. It's a first baseman's glove. Anytime you can find a first baseman's glove or a catcher's mitt, you should be looking them up because they probably have a little bit more value to them. It is actually already sold on Poshmark. And then the other 2 items I pick up, 3 items actually. That Pixel Blocks right there, the White Elephant Canes plush, and then this 2009 Canes plush dog, Elf. It's different from the Buddy the Elf one. Those of the Canes plush already sold. The Pixel Box has not sold yet, but it sells for a lot of money, a decent amount of money. And I paid $3. I'm showing the dust on it. I had to use I'll talk about this in the summary. I had to use paper towel to clean it a little bit. Now I go down here to show y'all some more stuff at this thrift store as I'm watching my items to make sure no one shows up and grabs them. So I am aware. Usually when I go to thrift stores, I don't grab a cart or buggy. I pick up him as well. I forgot about him. Caslin. He actually already sold. He sold within a day or 2 of me posting him. I forgot about him for a second. I don't talk about him in the summary. I just realized that he already sold. But he sold for like $20 plus shipping. And yeah, the Pixel Box and other stuff. I come over here. I paused it and then decided to restart it over here. I was going to show you all some of the hats. That's some furniture. It's always in the back of the store now. They used to put the men's clothing back here and then they moved it around. So as we're heading to the hats, I don't know if I pick up any hats. I don't think I do on this day, but I don't know. I didn't remember picking up that Caslin plush bird, so maybe I do pick up a hat or 2. I don't think so though, but we'll look through the hats real quickly and see if we see anything. No hats for today. So this was a pretty good day at Purple Cow. Pick up 2 really good items and maybe even a third. I say 2 because 2 of them have already sold. That baseball glove, Rawlings baseball first baseman glove, sold on Poshmark out of all places. I think it sold for either $40 or $50. I'll throw the screenshot up right here. Somewhere in that range is what it sold for. I paid $2.29 for it, I think is what it showed. And then also already sold that Canes plushie. That guy sold for around $50, I think, $45 to $50 on Mercari. So all these sales so far in this video have come from either Mercari or Poshmark, none from eBay. Even though most of my sales have been on eBay lately, but yeah, all 3 of those. And then the other plushies I got was that White Elephant Canes plush. I think it was $1. I think they were $1 each. The plushies were. But he's not really worth much, probably around $15. I might try and lot him up with other Canes plush I have and, make a Christmas lot of Canes plushies. And then I also got that Pixel Blocks thing. That was new in the packaging. It had a bunch of dust on it. I had to get a paper towel and wipe it off because it was so dusty. It was new and sealed, which is good. It's probably worth... There's sold comps for around like $60, but that was a couple years ago. There was none listed, so I think I put mine at like 80, and I only paid $3 for it. So, you know, if I can find sealed games like that, I will always look them up. There was none on, I tried to scan it on Amazon and see if it was on there, but it wasn't even on Amazon anymore. So yeah, that's it for that clip. Let's move on to, I think it's the last one, but there might be one more. Let's move on to the next clip. So this is the Goodwill in Gonzalez, Louisiana. Pick up this Sayconic little flashmate thing and 2 cookbooks as well. So yeah, I go to this one like once a week. I try to. Belle's Best cookbook, that one hasn't sold, but the other one actually, if I show it, has sold. I think the cookbooks are like $4 each, which is way more than I want to spend on a book usually. But whenever I saw that that other one had sold, the other one, I don't know if it had much of a sales history at the Belle's Best one, but I decided to pick them up either way. Just why not, you know? If I can use it for myself, I will, but usually I don't. The Sayconic thing was really the best item, though. Unfortunately, it didn't have a price on it, and I'll talk about that more in the summary of how I handled trying to get them to actually sell it to me, because in theory, Goodwill's not supposed to sell items that have the tags taken off because someone could take them off. Now, with their new system of the tag that they have, and mine at least, it's harder to get it off. It's not like a paper tag where it's just, you know, attached by a little plastic wiring or whatever, but that's why I think they went ahead and sold it to me, because they're like, it would be really hard for someone to take this price off. But I still did pay like almost $30 for that thing. So spoiler alert, I was able to buy it, obviously, if I'm showing it in this clip. Air blown things, I debated buying them, but you're not sure if they're going to work. And I don't know if Goodwill would consider that an electronic item and let you actually return it if it didn't work. And then I'm also not very good about returning stuff if it doesn't work. I don't test it quick enough. Here's a summary of which items have sold. So this is probably the best item for this video. This tiny little thing that's about that big, Sayconic. It's something to do with camera photography. The problem with this item was it was not marked at all. So I was kind of nervous if they were going to sell it to me. I looked up the comps on it and I was like, oh, this thing sells great. And also I had to test it and make sure it worked, because, you know, it took batteries. So I was very nervous going up to the checkout with that item and hoping they were going to let me buy it, because usually in Goodwill it says if there's no price on it, they can't sell it until the next day. So I was like, oh gosh. So I take it up to the counter, show it to the lady, and I'm like, I'm not sure, like, if someone just bought the case, like maybe they put the price on the case, because there is a case on it sometimes. And she's like, I don't know, let me call somebody up here. So I was like, oh boy. She comes up there and is like, I don't know what happened to the price. I don't know I don't know why someone would just buy the case for that much and then not the item. But they sold it to me for $30, which you say, that's expensive. Yes, that's a lot of money for that tiny little thing. But I guess they must do some kind of research on some of the items they put out, because how would they know that tiny little thing's worth that much? Of course, that's the same Goodwill. I bought that NCAA football 14 for $3 and sold for $75. So they didn't do any research on that, obviously. They don't know video games. They just saw video game and put standard price on it, which I like. That's good, because they didn't research it. But that item sold for, I think it sold for either somewhere around like $130 to $150. I'll throw the screenshot up right here of what it sold for. Very good sale, obviously, and it did work. I tested it. It worked. Haven't gotten a return yet, and that was a long time ago. Past the return period on that item, because that's how long ago it sold. I also sold the cookbook out of all random things. I paid $4. It sold for around $30 on eBay. So those are 2 eBay sales. I was saying everything's Macari and Poshmark. There's 2 eBay sales to end it out. Yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Best item probably being that Sayconic. But it's cool to sell some plushies for some decent money. I haven't sold many plushies in a while for decent money. And I've probably been selling them. I've seen them in the What Sold videos, but I haven't picked any up recently very much, because it's just been pretty slow around here finding stuffed animals at all. So yeah, that's it for this video. Don't forget to leave a like. Comment your favorite item that I sold. Mine's probably gonna be that Canes plush, because that's just a cool sale, and they're pretty easy to find around here. The older ones aren't. Older ones are worth more. The newer ones, like the white elephant's not really worth that much, but the older ones, like that 2009 one, I have a couple other ones that are really old as well. Y'all saw the Santa one in the What Sold video. Actually, you're gonna see that in the upcoming What Sold video, I think. Santa one sold for like $40 as well. So yeah, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.